On what is a gorgeous afternoon, we welcome you to Warrior Stadium here in Danville, Indiana, for this Sagamore Conference and Hendricks County rivalry game. The Tri-West Bruins, last year's sectional champs who lost the eventual 2A state champs from Buff in the regional final, take on their rivals in Danville who come in at 2-3 on the season. Alongside Mark Newman, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us for high school soccer here on the ISC Sports Network. Today's broadcast a service of both Endeavor Communications as well as the Old Boys Soccer Club. Tri-West again a year ago. They went 14-5-1. In fact, they won this match just up State Road 39 a year ago by a score of 6-1. However, that Tri-West team graduated 9 seniors, and they've been a little slow out of the gates this year. Have the Bruins, they check in at 1-3, although they did win their last time out against another program that has been a recent state finals participant as they beat Cardinal Ritter on Thursday. Danville checks in at 2-3 on the season. They have scored 6 times, have allowed 10. They also last played on Thursday. That was a 4-0 loss to Terre Haute South. One thing, though, that this Danville Ball Club has is a Sagamore Conference victory, already a 2-1 win over Southmont. And I know that, Mark, you happen to know the head coach of the Warriors awfully well. For those that in this community maybe don't know who Vince Gansberg is, tell us about him.
He's a legend. He is a coaching legend, a guy that has been in this community for decades. In fact, what Vince has done for soccer in central Indiana and the state of Indiana is beyond comparison. He is a coaching legend. He is a teaching legend. He is the head of education for United Soccer Coaches, which is the largest coaching organization in the world. Bar any sport, he is the head of coaching education, so he has taught more coaches and influenced their direction than anybody else in our country.
Well, Danville is lucky to have him. By the way, the opposite number, Braun Mendenhall for Tri-West in today's match. Today's match, again, presented in part by the Old Boys Soccer Club. The Old Boys will be entering their 3rd year in the Ohio Valley Premier League coming up in 2023, and they are proud to be comprised of Indy-based talent, giving players a chance to showcase their skills on a bigger stage. Go to facebook.com/oldboys, that's BHOYSSC, or follow them on Twitter at BoysSC, BHOYSSC. Thank you, Andy Hayes, for your support of today's match. Danville, of course, in the primarily crimson-colored kits with the slash of gray numerals and lettering. The all-white road attire for Tri-West. Of course, we are playing on the main football field here as well at Danville High School. It is a north-south pitch alignment. Tri-West heading to the northern end of the park, going into half number 1. The flags, not exactly showing much movement right now. The trees, on the other hand, a little bit different. Temperatures in the low 80s. It is a refreshing breeze, and we get it here inside of the press box. Again, absolutely fantastic weather for high school soccer. We play 2 40-minute halves. If we are tied, we will go to 2 extra 7-minute sessions. And because this is a conference matchup, if we're tied after that, PKs will be amongst us to determine a winner. Tri-West, 9 goals for, but 14 goals against on the season. Ball is played back to Corbin Brooks, and it's not just the highlighter yellow that makes him stand out. 6'4" keeper. You know something about that, dating back to your high school days locally and playing at the University of Massachusetts. To be given that gift of size, what does that mean for today's match?
Well, it's a huge factor when it comes to just taking up a lot more of the goal mouth. I mean, he's got an intimidating stature, and we'll see what kind of athlete falls behind it, but he is certainly an imposing figure in a goal.
Caleb Harvey had the ball for a moment in the midfield for Danville. Tri-West quickly wins it back. And they will track it down after a bit of a giveaway from the back line. Attacking player for Tri-West is onside. That is Bennett Shermer. Shermer is one of their leading scorers on the season. In fact, he is the Bruins' leading scorer on the season. He has 4 of their 9 goals so far. 4 different Tri-West players have found the back of the net over the course of 4 matches. For Danville, it's been much more of a team affair. Of their 6 goals, they have been scored by 5 different players. Only Andrew Boyd for Danville has multiple goals with 2. Well, the general feeling out process underway in this one.
Tri-West just coming out of the gates, actually doing a very nice job of possessing the ball. Some very nice one-touch taking place there, knocking the ball around the park, going side touchline to touchline.
That they're going to say that that ball was in possession of the goalkeeper, and it was the Tri-West player that made contact to force the bit of a bobble that time by James Beck, who is the starting netminder for the Warriors. So hence the possession being given back to Danville. Good look at Beck, one of the handful of seniors on this Danville roster. They have 5 in total. Good amount of sophomores and freshmen, at least on the varsity roster. Doesn't mean that they will be seeing time today. There will be a JV game that will follow this one. We will have just the broadcast of the varsity contest this evening here on ISC. Ball makes its way back to Eric Scherer. Good run going forward here.
Nice job of splitting the defenders.
And Shermer couldn't get there, but the defender didn't want to take the chance.
He placed a nice ball, a little bit more weight on that, and we see a little, Shermer has some speed. That could turn into something. I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit more of those balls played into space out on the flank.
This will be a throw, not a corner. So it went just left of the corner flag. Shermer trying to carve out some space. Not clear just yet. Opportunity here for Marion, leading goal scorer last year with 16 for Tri-West. He has 2 so far this year. And now some breathing space and a full head of steam on the left side for Danville's Colby Harvey. One of the 2 Harvey brothers that'll be out there on the field, the younger of the 2. Caleb wears number 4. He is the senior. Colby, the sophomore, wearing number 3.
A lot of pressure being placed on Danville Warriors right now. They just need to settle in a little bit, get their wits about them. Tri-West doing a good job with their possession, but I think this is just a situation where you just need to sit back, relax a little bit, get feet on the ball.
Eli Tricker was the player that at least cleared out of the 18 for Danville. But so far in the opening moments, the majority of the action being played here in the attacking half for Tri-West. Now Shermer clearly is a fulcrum point for this Tri-West offense. They have tried to find him at every opportunity. McMarion the other in terms of the midfield.
Just a little bit of a missed touch there, but they're doing a great job of establishing these little triangles around the field and beating Danville players with higher numbers.
Here's Marion. Turf monster got him, but able to fend off Tricker and maintain possession. Thinking this is not as big of a deal in terms of playing on turf compared to what it was even 5 or 10 years ago. I'd imagine that almost matches can be to some degree almost a 50-50 split in terms of playing on turf versus playing on the real thing. Not enough in that for a foul from our referee. Clark Marty was the player that took a tumble for Tri-West. This went all the way across the touchline for a throw in here for the Bruins.
Good patience there. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing out of Tri-West here right now, doing a good job of moving the ball laterally left to right, stretching out this Danville Warriors team, finding these gaps effectively and getting the ball forward.
High boot by Tricker that time on the tackle attempt. Even didn't exactly make a lot of contact. That's what drew the attention of the referee. Restart coming here for the Bruins. And Ethan Melton will get things going for Tri-West.
Yeah, Melton doing a good job of distributing the ball wide. This is a fairly narrow field, so you really got to emphasize playing to the touchlines, getting as much width as you can, keeping this Danville team on its heels.
A narrow field, but a long field. They use the full length of the football pitch, if you will. So 120 yards in terms of length, but not as much ground to cover side to side as you sometimes have.
He's got to settle the ball. Here we go.
Already a substitution queued up when given the opportunity for Tri-West. Good flick forward, a good second flick forward, but nobody making a corresponding run. Cade Clayton was the player that had the presence of mind, just really to tap that with the top of his head, but nothing there, and Beck will restart for Danville.
Yeah, and you know, this is actually what you want. You want the ball in your goalkeeper's hands in this situation, relieving the pressure, allowing Danville to get forward a little bit. He puts a heck of a boot on that ball. It was a great punt that he just had.
You will see some turf bounces in today's game, especially when you kick that ball from distance. So now being waved on for Tri-West is Jacob Gehring, just a freshman. He will come in for Cortland Williams, and clearly the wrap that he is wearing on his left wrist is very noticeable as Williams exits the pitch. That is a borderline club that he has wrapped around that left arm at this point. Here's an opportunity for Danville. Pocket picked at the edge of the 18. Can they get a chance to give it a blast? So far the answer is no.
He had to get that ball onto his right foot. Ashley did a nice job of shielding the player away from the ball as he moved it from his left to his right.
It's a couple of nervy moments along the back here for Tri-West. But now volleyed further away to safety as Clayton gives chase.
Good little sequence by Danville. They're all initiated by that goalkeeper's punt, getting some time down at the Tri-West goal.
Gehring weaving his way through traffic but couldn't hang on to it.
Here we go. Patience, patience. The idea was there. I like what I'm seeing here. Receiving the ball as sort of that target player back to the last defender, looking to lay it off. That could have some impact here as we move forward.
Clark Marty on the throw. Harvey takes a tumble. We play on. Tricker gets a touch. Marty able to reclaim for Tri-West.
Give it, yeah. Got to close him now. Got to close that ball.
Good distribution by Marion out to the right side. First time we have called Landry Jakowski's name for the Bruins. Play it back to Melton. Melton to Marion. Knocked away by Danville. First touch for the Warriors by William McRoberts. Harvey knocks it forward.
Good little hustle there. He's going to need some help to get out of that.
Andrew Boyd was the player trying to maintain possession in midfield for Danville. Throw incoming. David Boyd will be the one to take it for the Warriors.
Use your body. Needs to settle in.
He's headed away from the Danville player. So far, possession has been short-lived for the Warriors in the attacking third. But Danville also has 9 players, not counting the keeper, currently behind the ball. Nifty move, an advantage being played.
Good little ball right here.
Here's Jakowski. Plays it back to elect for possession.
Danville playing with a lot of depth, so they're not being pulled out of their shape too terribly much as that ball is shifting right now from left to right. I think their defense is a little bit stronger here as we move into the middle part of the middle part of this first half here.
Player had broken off the run on Andrew Boyd for Danville. Quickly able to settle it back. Now knocked forward.
A little too direct. Good. Now find someone's feet here. Nice touch. Oh.
Tricker just a freshman. One of 3 on the varsity roster for the Danville Warriors team. He went 6-10 a year ago. And a foul going to be whistled against Danville. Well, 10 minutes in. Really no nervous moments in front of goal just yet for either side.
No, I mean, we're seeing possession clearly favoring Tri-West here, but defensively, I think Danville's done a great job of creating that backstop. Having these 4 flat backs playing alongside one another has been good for them. A nice counter to this Tri-West team. Here we go.
Harvey in the midfield and trying to launch Tricker, but just steered it a little bit too far wide to the right.
So if I'm thinking ahead here, if I'm Coach Gansberg and I'm thinking about, okay, what am I going to tell my kids at the break? They're receiving the ball on one side of the pitch and they're trying to reassert themselves on that same side. Instead of having to go to that effort, take the ball and switch the play. Switch your point of attack so you're finding open gaps on the other side.
Get the pass a little bit too wide.
Big throw into the midfield.
Tricker's ball goes a bit wide. Today's broadcast on the ISC Sports Network presented by our friends at Endeavor Communications. Endeavor Communications offers a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Go to weendeavor.com for more information. You ever felt the need to coach a match in your bare feet, Mark?
I have not, no. But I will tell you that I once had a symphony orchestra perform all barefoot.
You know, honestly, Mark, I'm a better golfer playing barefoot. So I understand, you know, connecting with nature, so to speak, during the game. But look down and I go, he's not wearing any shoes. I like it.
Sounds like a Chevy Chase moment. Maybe something all the way back to Caddyshack.
No. Marion leading the charge here for Tri-West. Good looking run here. Plays it right side. That's Shermer, who has flipped to the right side. Sends it in, but couldn't get a player to it. Relatively easy play for James Beck, but again, you like the build-up for the Bruins.
You like the build-up, and I also like the defending. Just some real patience being shown there by that outside back, jockeying the guy with the ball, containing him, and really disrupting his cross.
Possession in favor of Tri-West for sure, but nothing really in terms of a difference maker so far. Nearly 14 minutes into the match. Danville, that was Deegan Myers, that briefly had it at his feet. Able to win it back and quickly launches the throw into Tricker.
Get it down.
Ricochets off of Noah Romanets for
good
Danville, who will play it left side for Harvey. Take away by Danville. Opportunity here towards the edge of the 18.
Very nice.
Knocked off the side netting. But again, first real moment in front of goal here for the Danville Warriors belong to Andrew Boyd.
Yeah, really a nice job by Boyd. Playing that ball out to the flank there, almost with a no-look pass, and that tells me that Coach Gansberg is working on patterns with these guys. You know, understanding that they've got to get the ball out wide, get the ball out to flanks, and then they will find those attackers running onto the near and far post.
Good combination.
Step to the ball.
Tri-West,
well done.
Just the bounce of the turf carried away from the Tri-West player and Grafton Yeager. Now Jakowski trying to get there, couldn't do it. Ball swept to the side by Danville's Noah Orniger.
Orniger does a great job of getting to that ball. Central defender tracking back, doing a nice job of getting into a spot in case the cross gets through.
So Mason Mendenhall now will enter. Freshman getting some minutes here for Tri-West. Andrew Jakowski will have a momentary break. Jacob Gehring will use some lanes of the track to help rocket that ball. Not just inside the 18, potentially all the way to the 6.
That's a weapon.
Shermer trying to get to a place where he can rifle one. Couldn't do it. Marion's shot was blocked. Boyd
nice
was all
job.
alone up top. Center back steps up for Tri-West. He's got to quickly retreat. Well done by the freshman in Mendenhall. This is a Tri-West team that has scored a good number of goals this year. They've also given up a good number of goals in the early portion of the season.
Time, settle.
It's been a little more lower scoring for this Danville squad. Here's Tricker. Runs through contact. Doing a good job of changing pace, and that ball got through for just a moment, but Brooks is able to pounce on it quickly and avoid having a whiff for the first goal of the match.
Danville getting at him a little bit, forcing this Tri-West team to chase and pursue. Goalkeeper mishandled it a little bit, but you know what? That's still putting pressure on the backs, and I think that's a good sign for the game as we move ahead.
Harvey lifted that one just in time to get it away from Yeager in the midfield.
Settle it. Find some feet. Good. Nice controlled head ball to feet.
Substitutions await for both sides when given the opportunity. Foul going to be whistled. Gehring had just enough of a hold of the fellow freshman for Danville and Eli Tricker. David Boyd will hit the reset button here for Danville.
Boy, they've got some big backs.
You got to see their football team. Ball headed down, but nobody was making a corresponding run. Right idea by Danville. And this is our second opportunity to feature Warrior Athletics in the last week, as we did have the Danville football team at Mooresville on Friday night. The Pioneers claiming a 38-17 win. Look forward to having our cameras back here for the Tri-West Danville American football, if you will, 2 weeks from Friday. That game can be seen on ISC as well as available on Comcast 81 across the state of Indiana. Multiple substitutions. Jakowski comes back in for Tri-West. Ian Tricker and Alan Morris check in for Danville.
Got to step to the ball and slow this down.
Right idea here. That was Williams who re-entered that tried to play that ball through.
Yeah, Tri-West coming with numbers. You know, that kid Jakowski, he's inching up, trying to get as close to the backs as possible as the ball turns over into the offense.
Gehring able to work around Harvey, and Jakowski was not far from it.
Yeah, I mean, if you draw a little circle around Jakowski, you see him hedging. He's trying to get as close to being offside without actually getting into that spot as he can to get a step on that defender.
Melton turns the side to keep that ball from advancing forward. Morris able to work a throw in here for the Warriors. Tricker.
Good.
Knocked away by Gehring, and a little bit of a shove and a stop of the clock here as well. Not sure if we're going to see a card here or just a conversation, but clock does stop here with 20:48 left to go in half number one. Again, nothing wrong in this. It's what you're about to see there is the reason for the whistle. And I think that is conversation worthy, not card worthy. I think that's
absolutely right.
Was well handled by the referee. Ball played forward. Quickly knocked away by Tri-West. Settles the feet of Clark Marty.
Oh.
Almost
gets a poach there.
Yep. Frankly, that is where Danville has been most dangerous.
Yeah.
Kind of the passes around the back line have not always connected for Tri-West so far in this match.
Yeah. Now they got to get numbers into the attack to help Tricker out here.
Tricker goes to ground and draws the whistle.
That's the right call and in a dangerous spot.
Just outside of the 18. Well, Tricker, a freshman, doesn't play like it. And again, what I've noticed the two times he's had the ball in that scenario, he's done a good job of kind of stopping and starting.
Yeah.
Hitting that pause button, trying to get that defender to fly by.
Yeah, and he also brings some pace. He'll knock the ball into space, chase it down. He's not going to necessarily beat you on the dribble, but he's got that pace to get to the bigger ball he's playing in front of him.
So two-man wall here for Tri-West. That'll become three.
This is a dangerous situation. That's a great location for a free kick, if you ask me.
Caleb Harvey, who also doubles as the place kicker on the football team, has this one lined up.
I bet he can float that thing in there.
You going for goal here, or are you trying to set up a teammate?
I'd be going back post. I'd be bending it to the back post, yeah.
Ball headed down, but not on frame, and Brooks will watch this one trickle across the byline for a goal kick.
Yeah, I think that was Oranger who got his head on it, if I'm not mistaken. Did a nice job of getting up above the wall or the grouping of players in the back post there.
Riley Bryan will come on, sophomore defender. will give a breather to Clark Marty, who's been in a good shift so far. More than midway through the opening half, still scoreless. Here at Warrior Stadium. Greg Rakestraw, Mark Newman with you. Here on the ISC Sports Network, our broadcast was presented by Endeavor Communications and by the Old Boys Soccer Club.
All right.
Throw in coming. Jonas Cowley will hit the reset button here for the Bruins. Here's Shermer. Ball deflected away. That was Boyd that got in the way for Danville. I can see why Danville has played some lower scoring games here. They have appeared very organized defensively.
Yep.
Two Tri-West players collide with each other. And now Morris will track it down. Could not keep it in play. It will be a throw in coming for Tri-West.
Knock it down.
So opportunity here for Tri-West. You've seen him head to the corner flag from the near side. Now they'll get one here on the opposite side. Another substitution being waved back on momentarily.
Drive it right into the 6.
Put it at the edge of the 6, but did so on a hop.
Yeah.
Harvey gets a boot to it. Orger gets to it next. Not out of danger just yet. Trying to make the turn is Melton for the Bruins.
They've got numbers behind the ball. Danville doing a nice job of getting numbers behind the ball and setting 2 to the ball.
Throw in coming here for Tri-West. Tonight's match presented in part by Old Boys Soccer Club. The Old Boys will be entering year 3 in the Ohio Valley Premier League coming up in 2023. And they're proud to be comprised of indie-based talent, giving players a chance to showcase their skills on a bigger stage. Go to facebook.com/oldboyssc, that's BHOYS, or follow on Twitter at BoysSC. Opportunity here. Blast from distance.
Good save. Good job.
That ball had some late movement to it. That was Beck that made the save. Cortland Williams put a rocket on it, as you see here.
Nice job. Goalkeeper does a nice job of getting behind the ball, creating a good barrier there.
Two players take a tumble. It was Callie that was back for Tri-West. That was Ian Tricker that was charging forward for Danville, shoulder to shoulder. Referee lets him play through it. Throw in coming for the Warriors. Oh, I have missed my partner furiously scribbling notes during the course of the broadcast. Every time I see you grab a pencil, I know something good is about to be said. Professor, the floor is yours. What are you seeing?
I'm just really pleased and impressed with how Danville is sort of settled into this game. You know, early on in the game, they were showing a lot of respect for this Tri-West team, dropping back too much and allowing Tri-West to really do what they wanted with the ball. They're getting bodies up on bodies. They're denying the ball, and they're shutting Tri-West down right now. It's nice to see.
It's 4v4 for a moment for Tri-West, but again, Danville able to get numbers back. Defender that stood him up that time was Trevin Myers. Now Jorge Sanchez will enter for the Bruins. Cowley will get a breather, or maybe he won't. Shermer will exit. And Mendenhall will have a seat too.
Good job.
This is Gehring. Chakowski. Back to Cowley. Possession has not been a problem for Tri-West. It's that final touch from outside of the 18 to get it into a dangerous spot. That has yet to truly happen for the Bruins in this match.
Jakowski's been great. I mean, he's getting himself to spots. He has free reign to move across the width of the field. You see him on the left side, you see him on the right side, you see him centrally. I will say that on the other side, Trevor Myers, he's getting a heck of a workout today in the back for Danville. Good job.
Well, knocked away. That was Origer that got there in time. And now Tricker, another good run going.
Now, that's it. Well done into space. A little bit heavier, a little bit more on the ball. He would have gotten it through.
It's a good job by Ian Tricker to stay on side to make that play a possibility.
That's right.
Just couldn't connect on the pass.
Yeah.
Here's Morris. And then Morris, and the ball just step away as he took that momentary glance up to see if he could find a teammate. Ball didn't stay put on him.
Yeah. Well, staying on Tricker for just a second, I mean, I think what we're seeing is he's a little bit more effective as he's pinched into the central midfielder as opposed to playing out wide. He's having more impact and forcing turnovers around that D in the center of the pitch than he was when he was on the outside waiting for balls to play to him.
Nick Tuttle will enter for the first time for Danville, and Andrew Boyd will have a seat. Ian Tricker will get a respite, as will David Boyd. And then for Tri-West, Shermer is back in, and again, Shermer has been their primary offensive weapon this year. 4 goals in 4 matches, so not surprised that any break that he is to receive is a brief one. Opportunity here to take a blast from outside the 18. The answer was no. We've got a player down because of the collision of knees for Danville. We're playing on right now. Danville's got 6 behind the ball. Player remains down for Danville. This is Marion. Marion sends it in. Ball headed back to midfield. Again, Danville a man down currently. That's Gehring. And now we'll stop with kind of the ball in a neutral position. Now we can go back and make sure the player behind the play is doing okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the interesting things about this sport is that the discretion to stop play, to stop the clock, really rests solely on the shoulders of the referee. And he is going to look for that time when the ball is not in a threatening position to blow his whistle to stop things. I think that's really one of the neat, really cool things about this game.
I think gives everybody a chance for a little bit of an unscheduled hydration break here as well.
Yeah.
Coach Gansberg out to check on his player.
When I knew Vince as a younger guy, he had this big bushy head of hair. Something's happened over the years.
Well, you still have a big bushy head of hair.
That's true.
You won that lottery in terms of that. For those that don't know my partner's background, North Central High School, correct?
Yep.
Then UMass.
Yep.
Was on Bruce Arena's staff at the University of Virginia before working as part of the organizing committee for the World Cup in D.C. back in 1994. Eventually life brought him back to Indianapolis. And when he's not working with ISC, Mark works these days with Indiana Public Media. So Romanets was the player that was down for Danville, and luckily he is able to walk off under his own power. Fabian Munoz, the athletic trainer, out there with him for Danville. You look at Eli Tricker on your screen there a moment ago, and again, Danville has been most dangerous when the ball has been at his feet so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's been able to turn and burn, but now he's picking his head up a little bit, and he's knocking that ball with the outside of his foot, sometimes with his toe, and just pushing it into space, getting it to guys and trying to lead them into free space.
Coach Gansberg really was kind of more concerned about his injured player. Coach Mendenhall had a chance to talk to his guys. If you're Tri-West, you had that unofficial timeout there. What do you think the message was from coach to player?
Well, they were succeeding and at their best when they were moving the ball side to side with speed, forcing this Danville team to chase them. They've got to recreate that moment again.
So we'll restart here. The ball is, use the football markings, 45 yards out. Back and underway. Ball finds Harvey for Danville. Bryant sends it in. Origer got in the way at the edge of the 18.
Time. Good, and just The missed touch there actually helped him because it allowed him to his teammates to get into good spots to receive a ball.
They're saying if the offensive player doesn't know where it's going, the defensive player doesn't know where it's going either. Throw in coming here for.
And some would say those are the best offensive players out there generally.
Goalkeepers would say that. Ball steered to the side. Myers will throw it in for the Warriors.
Get it down.
Danville at 2-3 on the season. Tri-West just got their first win last Thursday. Both these teams have been off since last Thursday. Nice back heel by Sanchez. Just couldn't turn it, but a nifty bit of skill to be sure.
Yep. Got to go with pace now. You got to take this space and give the ball. You want to draw your defender.
Joe, talk with Eric. You're too far apart.
Sanchez able to win it away from one defender. Trying to fend off Morris as the second defender.
Now get it the other way. There's a lot of pressure on that side of the pitch. You get it going the other way and you relieve all of that pressure.
It was Marion that just tried to rocket it through a line or two defensively. Ethan Melton, after a spell on the bench, will check back in. Cade Clayton will quickly head to the sidelines. A scoreless draw so far here at Warrior Stadium. As always, thanks to Amy Harvey, the tremendous athletic director, for having us out here today. We look forward to being back out here in September when the ladies play this match here between these two Hendricks County rivals.
Nodded on.
Yep. A little bit of space to operate there. Ball takes a turn. Sanchez could never get a boot to it. Marion gives it a hit and hopes for the best. Nothing there. Edge of the 18, not out of danger yet, and now some room to breathe. And Boyd has been kind of the lone player back around midfield, providing a target of relief for Danville defensively. Crafton Yeager will come back in, going to give Marion a breather. Tri-West has been quick to sub players in and out so far in this match. Here's Brian.
One more. Oh.
Sometimes the ball gets in the way.
Yeah.
Getting in the way that time was Danville. That was Nick Tuttle that stopped the run. We throw in coming for Tri-West. Harvey.
Good.
Good cut back. He's offside.
Nice.
Now the flag goes up.
Yep.
If I can spot it that quickly, he's off.
Yeah.
And again, when you play on a football field, the yard markers tend to serve as a bit of a giveaway there too. But
the assistant referee's friend, those yard line markers.
Just heard Vince on the sideline saying we're getting stretched. They've had a pretty solid shape behind the ball for most of this match. Ball knocked forward again.
Face
Danville
forward.
gets there first.
Forward.
McRoberts. It's going to be a foul against Tri-West. Contact made with the top of the foot. Frankly, there has not needed to have been a lot of whistles.
No.
It's been a very cleanly played match between these two rivals.
Mm-hmm. And it's really gone from 18 to 18. Haven't been a lot of shots on goal, but it's been back and forth.
Outside of you.
Knock it down. Ooh.
Tuttle takes a tumble, but again, the defender had established position. Tri-West to give away. Myers in the midfield. Now Caleb Harvey.
Good job of getting out of that. Nice. A little bit too heavy of a touch.
That was Yeager that couldn't maintain possession. Scherer. O'Brien. As you said, partner, it's been largely from midfield stripe to 18 at this end of the park. It's going to be a whistle against Shermer.
Coach Mendenhall, we're seeing him pushing 3 attackers up against the defenders of Danville. I think what we're going to probably see in this second half is we're going to drop one of those attackers behind 2 primary attackers to feed them the ball because they're late getting the balls coming out of the midfield because everybody's pushed up too much.
It's great that we have a pitch side camera because you really saw where that foul was. Shermer got the ball with his left foot. It was after the ball was gone, right foot kind of extended and clipped the boot of the Danville player, and that was what the referee saw for the whistle on the foul.
Here we go.
Williams.
Get it out wide. That's a great ball. Little heavy.
Yep.
On grass, that would have probably been a bit slower and have been a better ball.
Right idea. Closest Tri-West player to it was Ethan Melton.
And he had options left or right. He could have gone to the other side and hit Jakowski.
But learning how to weight a ball on turf is a learning process for these guys.
It is tough.
Throw in coming here for Danville.
Particularly, I mean, when you get different kinds of turf and, you're having to adjust to that kind of stuff every time you go to a different, a different site to play.
Be a corner. So first one for Danville of the match. Comes with a little more than 4 minutes to go before we get to halftime. You get the feeling both these sides could feel they could use a break about now. It's been a taxing, if not productive, first 36 minutes of the match.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to both these teams. They're doing a great job of getting back behind the ball and chasing it forward. I mean, they've got to be feeling a little bit.
Ball sent in.
That's a good ball.
Headed away. Finally swept away by Tri-West. Shermer trying to apply pressure.
Nope.
And Jakowski is able to deflect that ball off of the Danville player. And now Marion is whistled back on. We might have had a game ball that got away from us, so we'll stop the clock because of the delay in getting a new ball. There's one usually behind each goalkeeper, and that's where we've gone. Community effort to track that one down.
Yep.
Heard the referee saying, "Oh, give me time to get in position for your restart." Shoulder to shoulder.
Yep.
Last touch, though, by Danville. That was Andrew Boyd that was trying to win that ball from Riley Bryant. You only get 10 minutes in high school halftime, so you're not going into great detail in terms of tactical adjustments, but from either coach's perspective, Mark, what changes, if any, you expect to see in half number 2?
Well, some of what I was describing a little bit earlier, I think if Coach Mendenhall is going to continue with 3 up front, he's got to drop one of them behind the 2 primary attacking players so that you can retain some of that continuity in the attack. On the Danville side, if they move the ball a little bit quicker, I think they're going to find some success in getting it from midfield into the attack. Tri-West's done a great job of getting behind it and creating this defensive shell around their goalkeeper. But the more effectively that Danville is able to move the ball with some pace to throw off the Tri-West team, I think they'll have a chance to get at them a little bit.
And watching the defensive organization that Danville has had in this match, I'm finding it hard to figure out how they've given up 10 goals on the year.
Yeah, they've been great back there.
They don't give up many shots.
Yeah.
So clock is on your screen. It matches up what is here in the stadium. Both high school and college soccer, you are playing the clock. No extra time at the end of a half. So throw in coming here. Down to a minute. Bryan plays it off of a Danville player. Well done. Throw in coming here for the Warriors. Clearly nothing separating these two teams in terms of the scoreboard currently. And not much in terms of how they are playing this match either. Tri-West is going to try to restart quickly, but I'm not sure at that point I would. As you may give one last desperation effort for Danville. It will all lead to a big bunch of nothing. Nothing is our score. 0-0 here at the break between Tri-West and Danville. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back with our halftime thoughts as you're watching Boys High School Soccer presented by Endeavor Communications right here on the ISC Sports Network.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC, local lives here.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
McCulling in time. Oh, no! It's good.
This one is caught.
There you go.
Wow, Dawson makes a great catch.
Spin, win, 3, bury it for Leland Walker.
Tie the game they do with the dunk by Malik Edmonds. What a play.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel a little momentum starting to fall Lynn's way.
That is Wrestler! Wrestler! Whoa!
Back at halftime here at Warrior Stadium. Thank you so much for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. Today's match presented by Endeavor Communications. Business phone solutions with Endeavor Communications. More than a phone system, Endeavor offers a hosted unified communication solution that gives businesses the ability to be accessible anytime, anywhere, on any device. Find out more at weendeavor.com. Greg Regstraw, Mark Newman with you. Again, a very evenly played first half. I thought Tri-West had the advantage early. Frankly, the match settled down to being much more of a 50-50 variety of match over, say, the last 25 minutes or so. Just your thoughts on kind of where we stand right now?
Yeah, I thought Danville did a great job of withstanding that heavy pressure in the early going, and they've managed to protect their goalkeeper as he settled in, got more comfortable with what was happening in front of him. You know, I think what we were talking about earlier in the broadcast about the need for Danville to move the ball with a little bit more quickness, a little bit more speed. You know, they're taking that extra touch, preparing the ball. They've got to be able to move it more quickly and get it to feet. I think Eli Tricker for them is going to be key in the second half. He was having an impact on the game as he was moving into that pinched-in central midfielder role. On the flip side, with Tri-West, I mean, they bring a lot of technical proficiency there. They've got some very skilled players. They've been working on attacking the flanks, getting to the outside and seeing if they can wear down those outside backs. And I looked to Jakowski as being a real key for them in the second half.
So 0-0 is the score between these two county and conference rivals. Again, checking in at 2-3 on the season is Danville. Tri-West coming in at 1-3. Both teams had a corner. Both teams had a shot. So while Danville has taken much more of a defensive posture, they're probably happier with those limited numbers. If you're Tri-West, I think maybe you're a bit frustrated because, again, you've controlled possession, but really you've not exactly made James Beck sweat very much. That's the goalkeeper for Danville.
That's true, and quite honestly, you know, when you're talking about the corner, because it made me think of that free kick that Danville had, and it was a really well-executed free kick on the corner on the right side of the 18-yard box, just sort of spinning that ball into the back post. And you know, I think that they may have the advantage in those free kick situations too. And you know, if you know soccer, you know that when those things happen early on in a half or late in a half, it could spell disaster for the opposition.
It's been a Tri-West team that has been involved in some high-scoring matches so far this year. Clearly, this has the looks of the first goal might be the only goal, kind of given the way it was played in half number one. Let's show you some highlights. Again, no goals to show you, but we'll show you some of the back and forth that took place here in half number one. And again, action early mark dominated by Tri-West.
Yeah, I mean, here we go already seeing how Tri-West is looking to attack the flanks, get the ball into that 6-yard box, create some discomfort for the goalkeeper.
Williams, again, that was a shot from distance, and you see it very well from that field level angle. That ball had some late movement. Good job by Beck to stay with that one. Took Danville out to get some looks, but here really is their best buildup of the match. Yeah,
they do a nice job here of winning the ball in the attacking third and getting the ball into the box again. And here we see Eli Tricker coming into the play and doing a nice job using his pace, staying in front of that defender and getting a shot on goal.
Again, Brooks made a mistake, but had the time and space to be able to recover. With that, we'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, second half action from, well, right there, Danville High School. 0-0 our score, this rivalry contest here on ISC.
It's time to supercharge your internet with ridiculous speeds up to 1 gig from Endeavor. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Contact Endeavor and supercharge your internet today.
Hi, I'm Query.
And I'm Schultz.
And of course, we do the incredibly creatively and appropriately named Query and Schultz program every Monday on ISC Sports Network. Derek, it airs at what time?
7:30.
Okay, every Monday at 7:30. We're now on season number 2, and if history tells us anything, catch us now because you never know when they pull the plug on it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's happened
That's not going
before.
to happen here. Comcast, Xfinity 81, ISCSportsNetwork.com, ISC Sports Network, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, so many places to watch Query and Schultz, 7:30 on Monday.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
The ISC Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The ISC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. ISC. Local lives here. By the way, those cool aerial shots that you are seeing, that is the work of our buddy Alec DeFord, a member of our crew today. You see the tremendous athletic complex they have here at Danville. And we had their football team on Friday. They have 97 young men out for football. They have full varsity, JV, and freshman teams this year. I can see Pat O'Neill's baseball team getting a workout on the baseball field. And again, we are thrilled to be here for soccer at Danville for the first time. We've done football here over the years. We've done basketball here over the years. We've done baseball the last couple of years. Great to now add the sport of soccer into our broadcast package here at our friends at Danville. Let's thank a good friend of ours that has made this broadcast possible. That's the good folks at the Old Boys Soccer Club. The Old Boys will be entering their third year in the Ohio Valley Premier League in 2023. They are comprised of indie-based talent, whether there's players that are just removed from playing college soccer, players that are currently playing college soccer. It's a wonderful amateur-based club run by Andy Hayes. They give their players a chance to showcase their skills on a bigger stage. Go to facebook.com/oldboys, and you see how it's spelled on your screen. OLDBHOYSSC. That's on Facebook. Or follow on Twitter at BoysSC. BHOYSSC has more information. The next time our cameras will be back here will be for Danville and Tri-West in football on September the 16th. That is week 5. This week we will have crews at 6 different games across central Indiana for football.
You guys are fanning out.
That's the idea. Lawrence Central hosting Lawrence North in the Battle for the Bell, the Lawrence Township Super Bowl. Carmel playing host to Cass Tech out of Detroit. Have North Putnam versus South Putnam, not too far from here. Have Clinton Central, Clinton Prairie. We'll have Speedway's home opener. Brian Pierce and his crew will produce that one for us on ISC. And we'll have our friends at 9 Star Communications bring us the best game in Hancock County this week as well. So thank our tremendous crew. Thank you to Brian Pierce, Rob Lynch, Alex Laverne. Thank you to Alan Hughes, Jordan Shue, and the aforementioned Doctor of Thugonomics, Alec DeFord. Mark doesn't get that reference, but Alec does in the truck, and he is cackling hilariously as we speak.
I just think the whole notion of thugonomics, I don't even know what it is, but it sounds pretty
interesting.
Cool. Yeah.
Catches your attention. Hasn't been practiced much in the last 16 years. I'll explain it to you after the broadcast.
All right.
So the teams will flip ends of the field. Shadows starting to creep across. Here's the sun will be setting behind us. It's a beautiful setting for football or soccer or whatever is taking place at Warrior Stadium. And not many shots on goal. Do not mistake that for a lack of activity in half number 1. Danville will have the opening possession. There's Andrew Boyd that will stand over top of it.
So this is a sun that is directly in the line of sight for the Tri-West goalkeeper from a corner kick perspective.
Yep.
So if that ball gets end line, that could be trouble.
Our assistant referee on that side has adopted the John Bush hat, dealing with the sun across the way as it peers over the stadium. Harvey had the ball taken away. Opportunity here, Shermer. Origer able to play it off of Shermer. Not sure that was his intention, but it worked out just the same. Now there's Tricker, and he was immediately found by Deegan Myers, but couldn't make the connection on the pass, and throw in coming here for Tri-West. All knocked forward. Throw in coming here for the Bruins. Kind of a rocket launch from throw that made it to the edge of the 18, but Tri-West could do nothing with it.
Now that's a situation you got to be patient with the ball, protect the ball, wait till we get a couple more numbers up in front of it.
Morris's effort didn't do much with it. Again, right idea to move the ball forward, just not a Tri-West player there.
Nice little work there.
That's Melton.
Melton did a nice job moving the ball from his right to the left, ball in the air, really showing some good control.
Here's Boyd.
That's going to be dangerous if you got some wheels here.
Keeper elected to stay back on his line, and Brooks, kind of an inadvertent trip that time between Myers and Marty, and whistled foul ends the potential scoring threat for Danville.
Yeah, it's just tough playing a bouncing ball out to the flank. It picks up speed with each of those bounces. Myers not necessarily having the pace to get to it, but the idea was spot on.
Danville with the throw in coming up. Scherer. Swept forward to Grafton Yeager.
Nice little slip header.
Jakowski keeps it in play. Cowley couldn't get it back to him.
Now this is a tough spot for Tri-West to defend in.
The throw left a little to be desired.
Yeah.
That's a rocket of a throw that
Yeah.
Tri-West has fouled that away for the future. Ball slipped
That's
through.
a
Here's
nice
the
little
opportunity.
ball.
Jakowski has
Get
Shermer
numbers.
to his left.
Wait for numbers.
Plays it across, plays it behind him, and Danville knocks it forward. Yeager couldn't track it down. That was really the first time that the defenders were chasing the ball for Danville today.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw some intention by Tri-West. I mean, I think that's exactly what they wanted to try and execute there. And here we go again, Jakowski. We talked about him potentially being a difference maker in the second half, and right off the bat, he's put himself into dangerous spots.
Great job by Beck, though. That's a ball where if he waits, he's in trouble.
Yep.
He made a beeline to it, took away the scoring opportunity. James with 29 saves in his first 5 matches this year. And frankly, neither keeper has been threatened all that much so far tonight.
Well, you know, it's a sign of a good goalkeeper when, you know, if you have been in sort of a state of inaction, if you can remain decisive and pounce on an opportunity like that ball that he ran down, you know, he's staying focused, he's staying in the game. That's really important for a goalkeeper.
Tricker.
Nice.
It's not only step in front of one defender, but avoid a second. And the sliding tackle to win it back.
Boy, he had to work hard to hold on to that one.
Just a freshman, so one of their better players this year, but obviously a star of the future of this program.
Keep him out there.
The throw in coming. They're going to be told, hey, back up a little bit. You'll get a yard or two. You can't get 5 on those throws. Now Myers. Now Harvey. Danville's just been a little bit quicker to go on the attack in tonight's match. But Danville's defensive shape has what's allowed them to be able to keep that 0 on the board.
That's right, and when the ball turns over, I want to see heads pick up for Danville. And there has to be a little bit more communication from the wide positions in order to alert that player with the ball. Hey, get it to me.
And that passes, well, don't pass to the guy waiting by the 4th official. And there's no 4th official in high school soccer, but you get my point.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes you have guys keep those bibs on until you get in the match or you don't get confused.
That's right.
Sanchez was waiting to enter. Not an eligible player to go play that one. McRoberts. And Williams will knock it forward.
Got to give it.
There's Yeager. Harvey able to take it away.
Handball.
Yeah. Even if it's your upper arm, you can't extend it from your body like that in the fashion that Gehring did. Kind of chicken wing that one away from his body. Little space to work with here for Danville. And they have not had a great deal of possession. Able to string passes together in the attacking half. They've had some good runs. They've had some build-up, but
Well, when they've just knocked it forward and chased it down, that seems to have worked the best for them.
Melton to Yeager.
One
now
more.
Scherer.
That'll work. Well done.
Williams finds Cowley. Now to Chakowski. Chakowski sweeps it forward. Williams on the move, but the defender for Danville did just enough, and McRoberts to slow down the attack. That'll be a goal kick coming for the Warriors.
Yeah, nice job by McRoberts, because he was being chased down pretty heavily by Williams there. But that little play in the midfield, that the ball that was played into that tucked in midfielder and then shot back out to the flank to Williams was just a great ball.
Throw in coming here for the Warriors. It is Chakowski that will have a seat on the first substitution of this half for the Bruins. Ball at the feet of Alex Laverne on our pitch side camera. Knocked forward, but again, nobody didn't need to do that. If you see that your keeper is inside of the 18 and is all by his lonesome, let him handle it.
Right.
Throw in coming.
Makes me wonder if the goalkeeper called for the ball.
Right. Here's a look, though. 4v4.
Head up, head up. There he goes. Nicely
through. Can Williams get there?
It's still in. We'll play.
Inadvertently played off the back heel of the defender. And McRoberts. Cowley got to it for Tri-West, but simply too many bodies to get through. Melton.
Nice job.
Just keeps matriculating the ball down the field.
He showed some great technical ability with those two touches with the bottom of his foot and then the outside of the foot. There we go again. He likes the bottom of his foot.
Has the overlapping run going again, just a bit strong. And at the opposite end, what we just talked about, hey, goalkeeper calling for the ball. That time you saw Beck say, my ball, get away, I've got it. And that's where you want that opportunity to end from the Danville perspective. Boyd was off. He didn't play it. Tricker was on. He was able to chase after it, hence why the flag didn't go up. Now a trio of substitutions about to enter for Coach Gansberg's teams. Romanette's Walden. First time we have called Walden's name tonight. Ball back to Shermer. Shermer has shown good speed tonight.
Waiting for numbers. He's lifting his head up. You see him being patient with the ball.
Tries to slide it through. Marion was the target. Sanchez was the player on the going back post in that scenario. Tricker's off. He can't play him. Ball ends up bouncing off the feet of Luke Walden for a Tri-West throw-in. But now you're starting to see at least 2 and 3 attacking players going forward for Danville.
Well, it's opening up a little bit, and you're seeing they're not playing, they're not being pushed up right against those defenders like we were talking about in the first half. Marion, what I want to see out of Marion, though, he's making very rigid runs. They're going at angles, but he's not curling his run at all, coming back to the ball. He's got to come back to the ball a little bit, and he's going to get it at his feet then.
Thrown in. Williams, can he get to it? Nope.
But he get a corner out of it.
That was David Boyd that hustled over and steered that ball across the byline. Now let's see who's going to take the corner. Sanchez and Marion having a conversation about it. Marion that will walk the ball to the corner flag. By the way, Jorge Perez in the contest for the first time for the Warriors as well, wearing number 6. To the edge of the 6, but a foul whistled against Tri-West. I think we had a player kind of wrap his arms back around a Danville defender to make sure he couldn't move. It's a great play if you can get away with it.
That's right.
Coach Gansberg went all the way to the back of the track and away from his bench to get a good angle as to how that play was shaping up. Ball off the shoulder of Scherer. Harvey lines it up. Ball slipped forward to Marion.
Use your body, use your body.
Couldn't make the turn. There's Cowley. There's Perez. Knocked away by Sanchez. Throw in coming here for Danville.
Foul throw.
Sanchez had his arm tucked in, hence why you could play that one. They're going to call a handball, and it's ricocheted into you from that close of a distance.
Yeah.
Substitution being waved on for Tri-West. Clayton, we saw him a lot in the first half, will enter. And Mark is starting to get the feeling it may take a mistake from somebody for a ball to find the back of the net, because these two teams are going to have been so evenly matched against each other tonight.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference in skill level, but what Danville is demonstrating is some real grit, and they're really hustling to get behind the ball to shut down this Tri-West team.
I would say grit and shape would be the other.
Yep.
Williams will knock that ball sideways for a throw-in. Today's match on the ISC Sports Network, presented in part by the Old Boys Soccer Club. They'll enter year 3 in the Ohio Valley Premier League in 2023. They are comprised of indie-based talent, giving players a chance to showcase their skills on a bigger stage. Go to facebook.com/oldboyssc and spelled like it is on your screen, or follow on Twitter at boys, BHOYSSC. Williams lost it to Harvey, but then Marty able to track it down for Tri-West. Caleb Harvey in the midfield. Ball off the back of Colby Harvey.
Now Danville's got Tricker playing more central, and they pushed him all the way forward as opposed to dropping into the midfield.
Harvey takes a tumble, and there's enough of that for a foul to be called. And while this is from distance, there have been so few looks on goal in this match. If you got something special, now's the time to pull it out if you're Danville.
Yeah, and what I would say is if you can float that ball into the box and you're having on-running attackers, you're dealing with a fairly tentative goalkeeper here.
Yep.
So see if there's something that can come of that.
So you're 35 yards out at this point.
Yep.
But
put it in the air, make him challenge for the ball. I mean, he's got a height advantage, but see if he'll come.
It's Caleb Harvey that takes the free kick. Sends it in, and Brooks didn't get it cleanly, but the high boot.
Yep.
And close enough to the keeper. Fraction against Perez of Danville.
I think this is where Danville really may have the opportunity. If they get balls into a 50-50 situation or challenging the goalkeeper, this could be the opportunity for them to find the back of the net.
Clock rolls as we approach the halfway point of this second half. Not exactly the best of goal kicks,
No.
but Tri-West not exactly in danger just yet.
Now put him under pressure again.
Romanets. Tricker.
Oh.
The back heel for Perez.
Tricker, a little tricky.
Williams. And again, Danville had pushed some numbers
Not gonna
forward.
go to the ball.
Sanchez keeps the run going. Oreger does just enough now. Shermer. Both Tri-West players kind of hold up to keep their runs on side. McRoberts got there. Good win back in the midfield for Tri-West. Now can Marion do something with it? Marion gives it a hit.
Good job, goalkeeper.
Walk me through the technique that Beck just showed there.
Well, the thing that saved him was that he actually went down on his knee to cover that space that, between his legs. Did a nice job of creating that little bit of a backstop. What's become popular today among goalkeepers is getting down into that little forward dive to protect the ball even further, but he did a great job of creating that barrier.
Walden was trying to get that ball to Tricker if possible.
He may have been a shortstop in a previous life.
Lined it up well.
We were talking earlier about basketball players.
Had a nice conversation with Sasha Stefanovic. People I think know Sasha from his days at Purdue. He's playing professionally in Greece from a basketball standpoint. And took to Twitter yesterday to say, hey, when I'm done playing basketball, I want to give professional goalkeeping a try. And I explained to him, and he and I had a nice conversation over Twitter about, well, one of the players on the Indy 11's dad is the head basketball coach at Duquesne, in Robbie Dambrot, who played high school basketball through his senior year. The starter in San Antonio, who was in Indy the last 4 years, Jordan Farr, high school basketball player.
Yeah.
People may not realize that George Hill, about to enter his 14th year in the NBA, is the former starting goalkeeper at Broad Ripple High School. There are some skills that translate when you have that size and from the two sports.
Well, and I'll add to your list and just tell you that Tony Miolo was a starting goalkeeper for Kearney High School in Kearney, New Jersey, and was a fabulous baseball player, actually drafted by the New York Yankees. So you put that combination of athletic ability together, anybody could be a goalkeeper if they're bringing that.
Tony, his son plays Oklahoma State, right?
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Here's a look for Tri-West. Ball played in. Snuck past one defender, not a second.
He would be happy to hear that I invoked his name all the way out here in Indiana.
Well, he's busy on counterattack right now, but I'll pass the word along when I talk to Tony. Jakowski back in for Tri-West. Perez will have a seat as Morris returns. Or there'll be some listening to Channel 157 on my way home tonight on my Sirius XM,
Right.
believe me. Opportunity here. Just couldn't get that ball to boot to. And now 1v1.
See what we can
Tricker
get.
win the race.
Oh, nice.
Got around
touch.
Shearer. Melton got back. Tricker took a tumble, but again, ball had been won. And then Cowley will keep it in play. But again, the match is starting to open up a little bit now.
Sure is. Yeah, I mean, you're seeing these teams they're sort of bypassing the midfield and getting the ball from the defensive third into the attacking third right away.
There's Tricker.
Good. Can you give it? Oh, that's not a bad ball if you can run it down.
Yeah, Walden won't be able to get there in time, but
Yeah, I think he identified it a little late. I mean, the idea was right on by Tricker.
so Brooks will reset. Tri-West elects to build from the back. There's Cowley. Melton, pressured by Harvey. Good turn here by Tri-West. Got three options to the right. Sanchez,
Good
not
job.
enough in it.
Look at how open it is in the midfield there. Look at that. All that real estate.
Played forward. That was last touched by a Danville player. So throw in coming here for the Bruins.
You've got Morris, number 8, on the weak side. You can't see it in the camera, but here's an opportunity for him as the ball gets into Danville, takes possession, for him to get into the attack and use that weak side to his advantage.
Knocked forward. Just will trickle across the sideline. More substitutions being waved on. Boyd and Ian Tricker return for Danville. And if we have a draw after 80, we will have extra soccer tonight. And because this is a conference match, kicks if needed. Cowley. Marion.
Nice job.
There's Gehring.
Tough ball.
A little bit light on the pass.
Gotta
Here's
get
a
forward.
look.
Got to throw numbers forward.
But now that Danville had thrown numbers forward, now here's a little more space to work for Tri-West. Williams couldn't keep it at his feet, but able to work it away from Harvey. Slides it
slips
forward.
it through.
Ball
This
gets
could be
through.
trouble.
Here's Sanchez, takes a touch.
Nicely done, goalkeeper.
Beck stands tall. Ball stays in play. Danville sweeps it away. Throw in coming here for Tri-West.
I mean, you could see the decisiveness in that action. That was beautifully executed by the goalkeeper, Beck.
Well, Beck has not had to do all that much tonight, but when his number has been called, he has been ready.
Yep.
Take a look.
Does a nice job. Eye on the ball, makes himself big and comes out and spreads himself on the ball.
Not out of danger yet.
Oh.
Now out of danger is Marion. Took a left-footed blast and hoped for the best and skied it. Some 20 feet above the top of the crossbar. Today's game presented by Endeavor Communications. They offer a variety of internet speeds that fit your family or business needs. Surf the internet faster than ever before with internet speeds up to a gig. Go to weendeavor.com for more information. Throw in coming here for Tri-West.
Good throw. Step on it.
I couldn't get to it in time. So we pass 15 minutes left to go here in regulation. Back and take a little time here before knocking this ball towards the midfield. Gehring, the player that applies pressure for Tri-West. Harvey hits it sideways.
Pick up a player.
Marty on the throw. Marion a touch. A second touch, trying to get by a defender. Now he's got a run going. Right foot slots it through and finds the back of the net.
Did a great job.
He had 16 goals last year, his third of this season. Finally breaks the scoring drought for each of these two teams. And suddenly Danville is chasing the game with 14 minutes left to play.
Yeah, I mean, he had defenders retreating. When he was able to turn Oranger, there was nothing that Danville could do. Marion was able to have his way with him. It struck a great ball onto the left hand of the goalkeeper.
And for all the things that Danville has done well in terms of how they have played this match and the shape, and now all of a sudden You got to turn the offensive wick up because now you're chasing it for the first time.
Yeah, so you're turning the offensive wick up and you're applying high pressure. You got to get the ball into that back third as much as you can. You need to really test this goalkeeper, see what he's made of, test his mettle.
So Tri-West looking to make it back-to-back wins after starting the season 0-3. As mentioned earlier, they went 14-5-1 last year, made all the way to the regional final, running into the eventual 2A state champs in Brebeuf Jesuit. 9 seniors on that team. Returned some key pieces, but we've also called lots of freshmen and sophomores names who have all played well for Tri-West today. It's nothing they have done wrong. It's that Danville has played awfully hard, and again, they have stuck with their game plan and played it well.
Yep.
Tricker was getting a breather on the bench. He'll come back in momentarily knowing you have to have him.
Yeah, I had a feeling we would see him pretty quickly.
Yeah, to chase the game. And frankly, I don't think you're going to see Tri-West play any differently with a one-goal lead. Williams applying pressure. Sanchez just stepped right over it.
Knock it down. You got to get numbers in front of you.
Sanchez, we're going to stop the clock here. Sanchez getting a talking to from our referee. Tricker will be waved back on as well for Danville. Eli in. Ian will have a seat. Starting to see Cortland Williams start to potentially stretch out a leg or two out there on the field. Melton gives it a hit.
Get it down.
Ball lifted forward. Boyd the target. Melton recovers. Tricker applies additional pressure. Sends it in, but Melton able to recover. Knocks it sideways. Throw in coming for the Warriors with 12 minutes to play.
Big throw.
Marriott plays it forward. Williams will give chase. Beck gets the edge of the 18 and stops it.
Big ball.
Well, that ball was kind of played at the direction, and you heard it from the Tri-West bench saying, hey, get it forward.
Yeah.
Knowing that Danville had thrown numbers the other direction. Scherer and Trecker both go for that 50-50 ball. Good win in the midfield by Danville.
You know, it's understandable to see Danville trying to get the ball forward, just playing these big ball after big ball after big ball. I think Tri-West still needs to continue playing their possession game, frustrate Danville, push them into a chase game.
Not going to score if you're playing defense, right?
That's right. Get it down.
Boyd comes all the way back to midfield to maintain possession.
That's it. Nice little sequence here, moving the ball quickly.
Here's Harvey.
Get it in the box. Got to get it in the box. Nice. That's a great ball.
Morris trying to find Boyd. Boyd just couldn't settle as it goes all the way across the park. And then taken away by Tri-West.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, that was a nice little sequence of interplay there.
Harvey takes a tumble behind the play.
You got to pressure the ball. When they're dropping back like this is where you've got to pressure.
And we'll stop the clock again as he and Williams collided. So the trainer being waved on here for Danville with 10 minutes and 22 seconds left to play. There's the goal scorer for Tri-West. I mentioned they had 9 seniors on last year's team. Look at that roster. It is a similar number that are playing this year. And the young man that's being worked on in terms of Caleb Harvey, again, as we mentioned, he is a 2-sport player this time of year. Fridays with the football team as the primary place kicker. He's got a busy week They turn out and play again on Thursday, does Danville. And then he's got football at Lebanon on Friday for the Warriors.
Busy guy.
So there might be some Pedialyte, some Gatorade, and some bananas in his future.
Needs all of that. And quick. Good thing he's not a cross-country runner on top of it. That would really spell some trouble.
I'm sure he gets his miles going up and down the soccer pitch just fine.
Yeah.
So we kind of had a break like this in half number 1 as well. Harvey's a player that Danville might have some struggles if he's not out there for the final 10 minutes and change to wrap up this match. Again, thanks to our friends at Endeavor Communications as well as the Old Boys Soccer Club for bringing our match coverage to you today here on the ISC Sports Network. And we'll be back for the girls' version of this match in the month of September. Those of you that maybe don't follow high school soccer, you get to the end of September and you are to postseason time. And as you can tell, there is not much left in the legs of Caleb Harvey at this time. He took that knock and his lower legs just kind of locked up on him.
Yep. That's some serious cramping right there.
I'm not sure if there's any more left to give for that young man, unfortunately, for the rest of the night.
I think your recommendations of water, Pedialyte, and bananas, that's a strong one.
The water's universal. Pedialytes from my days around NFL players.
Yeah.
Bananas is a personal preference of mine.
Yeah.
From my playing days many, many moons ago. So the restart coming here. In 10 minutes, plus a few ticks of the clock left to go in this one. Tri-West just scored 3.5 minutes ago. Nick Marion, the goal scorer, his 3rd of the year. 10th is 18 for Tri-West. And they beat Ritter 4-1 on Thursday for their first win of the season. Melton being given the clearance to restart.
Keep it in.
Romanet's trying to weave his way through the Tri-West defense, and well done. That was Gehring that played it off the Danville player.
Get it down.
Yeager lifts it. Mendenhall, the potential target. That'll be a foul against Danville. Grafton Yeager, the 5'3" senior. Jakowski, the target.
Got to push it here.
Jakowski gives chase, and now as we have passed the 10-minute mark left to go, anything on this half of the field is a win for Tri-West.
Yeah. They're doing a good job of just dropping back. I mean, they're forcing Danville to play.
Job by Yeager, finds Cowley. Good forward to Mendenhall. Orger there for Danville.
Gets around him.
Perfect job just shielding the defender, getting his way. And now you're letting the sands flow through the hourglass a bit if you try West. Take a few extra seconds on every restart. Ball back to midfield. Boyd the target, but now 3 players that have been getting a bit of a breather. All guys that have played significant minutes today for Tri-West. Shermer, Williams, and Sanchez all will re-enter the match. Shermer, a senior, both Williams and Sanchez, juniors. And there will be a JV game that follows this one. This is the lone match that we are televising tonight. Much like our friends at Frankfurt, they play the varsity match first. That way, in case there's a weather delay or things like that, you've got time to kind of finish that if possible.
I like that approach.
Yep. I reference Franker because our crew from Hot Dog Network are covering that match as we speak. John Herrick and Sean Walker. Ball knocked forward. Tricker gives chase. Brooks. He has to wait till he gets the 18. He was the backup last year, was Brooks. Played about 130 minutes a season ago. He's already topped that this year. He has not been overly bothered tonight.
Nope.
Danville trying to change that in the final 7 minutes. And Tri-West won this game 6-1 a year ago. And now here's going to be a look. Marty called for a foul. And again, much as we said a few minutes ago, and Harvey thought about the quick restart, and you can hear Coach Gansel saying, nope, wait, get everybody forward. The opportunity's not come from the run of play. Now on the restart, ball sent in, and there's too much on it. Up and over the head of Shermer. Myers, think of the touch he wanted to on it. Yeager couldn't get it around Myers. Now Ian Tricker. Knocked away by Shermer. Boyd was off, was just off.
Unfortunate.
I thought he was close. And that's going to be a card for a interference with a reset. So card is shown to Boyd, which means that Boyd has to exit temporarily. So your most attack-minded player that's currently on the pitch now has to exit. With that, Perez will come in to replace him.
Cortland, sit! Not 6. I said 10. No, I did not.
Melton gives it a hit. Shermer, Marion, beautiful combination play between two players, and Shermer just could not get a boot to it, but the speed of thought was tremendous by Tri-West.
Big ball here, good. Handball.
Sheriff.
Oh, got to call it chest.
Immediately signaled chest. Referee on top of it. And a handball on the way by, so Danville will reclaim possession.
Real sense of urgency here. Got to pick up the urgency.
You see time on your screen. It's of the essence for the Warriors. Can Sanchez get it in time? No.
So here we are inside 5 minutes. I just start serving the box. Serve the top of the 18, getting it wide, force this goalkeeper off his line, see what he can do.
Scherer got there just in time. Shermer will carve out some space, knocks it forward. Sanchez will join the mix. Origer got there. Marion.
Go. Knotted on, one more.
Good win by Gehring. Very calmly defended by Tri-West. Scherer will turn and give it a whack. Now Marion. Good win by Harvey.
Good.
Ball eventually works its way back to Harvey. But possession again short-lived. Shermer was onside. Able to get around one defender. He's got one
Player
player
over
in
his shoulder.
Sanchez. Now turns. Waits for Yeager to make the run. Gives it a hit. Just didn't get much on it.
Good job. I was really concerned there with Sanchez sneaking in at the back post. Goalkeeper was looking at the ball, wasn't looking over his shoulder.
Is Danville unable to build to the midfield currently? Marion. Sanchez.
Come to the ball, good.
Yep, Beck will come and get that one on. You got to restart quickly.
Quickly is right. Big ball. There we go. He'll get a bounce. Ah!
Cowley.
Pressure it. Got to force him to play.
Couldn't find a teammate. So a forced turnover. Give Danville a restart at midfield. Romanettes.
Got to get this overlapping player on the right side.
Ball played sideways by Tri-West. And that's one thing that you'll have to work on for Tri-West is Brooks, realizing when is the time to charge forward and quickly squelch those opportunities.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's some of the reason why I'm saying test him, see what he's made of, because seeing that little bit of tentativeness there, that's a ball that that becomes dangerous.
Down to 2 minutes left to play.
Here we
Marion
go.
lost the handle.
Take advantage of it.
Harvey.
Just push it out.
Takes it forward to Perez. Yeager.
Nice
Finds
job.
Melton. He's got 2v1 if he can
And
get it
he's
to
on.
a teammate.
He's on.
But he played it right to the defender
Yeah.
in Oringer. Melton.
One touch. There we go.
Beats
He's
a couple
free.
of
He's
defenders.
off, way off.
And Melton, they're going to call a foul before the offside flag. They're going to say he was fouled.
Oh, wow.
So possession is going to be maintained by Tri-West. So before the offside whistle went up,
Right
or
there?
the offside flag went up, they're going to say foul against Danville. And again, the clock continues to roll here. So if you're Tri-West, you can take your dear old sweet time in restarting.
That's right.
And possession, a good thing.
Oh,
It was well set up. Just couldn't
beautifully
find a
played
head
ball.
to get to
Yeah,
it.
beautifully played ball.
That was Clayton that played it in. That was an exquisite touch.
Yeah, had 3 swipes at it.
Again, clock is on your screen. You've got one chance. If you're Danville, you got to kind of hit and hope at this point. And now you step on this if you're Sherman, just stand on at the corner flag. Let's see. Well, they'll go
Good
for
save.
goal. Oh, with 20 seconds, I'm not sure there's enough time. And
Put
that's
it
going to be a
down.
corner
Gotta put it
because
down.
Beck took it across the
That's
end
right.
line. And if you're Tri-West, relax. You're playing with a 1-goal lead. Yeager will send it in.
Dropped a good ball in there.
Yeah, but that's it. No need for further activity. Both teams can walk out with their heads held high tonight. Tri-West got their second win of the season, beat their biggest rival 1-0. There's the goal scorer in Marion. But again, you can see what Danville's trying to get organized.
Yeah.
And I thought you said it well. If it was a skills competition, Tri-West would have won handily. It's not always the case that the tactics, the hustle of Danville certainly were on display. Tri-West had one great moment, and that was all that was in the match tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this kid Marion, he put the defenders on his heels. He beat one, got around him, got to the other one, stroked a beautifully played ball with his right foot to the left side of the goalkeeper.
You score 16 in 20 matches last year. You tend to have my attention.
Yep.
He now has his third in 5 matches this season. Mark, your final thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I mean, man of the match right there, and he was complimented by Jakowski and Scher from the front to the back. They played a really good, solid game, very technical team. I think they've got some great potential in front of them. Danville, Tricker is the future of this team. He had a great game. He's shown his physical capability, his instincts as a soccer player, but also I've got to give some credit to that Danville back line. Those 3 players, Myers, McRoberts, and Origer, they did a great job of creating a shell around their goalkeeper.
Mark, always good to share a match with you. We'll do it again next weekend.
Looking forward to it.
Again, for Mark Newitt and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Good night from Warrior Stadium. Just 1 goal in the match. It belonged to the visitors from Tri-West. Marion with the hit. 1-0. Bruins win tonight. Thanks for joining us for this match presented by Endeavor Communications and the Old Boys Soccer Club here on the ISC Sports Network.